All right, everybody. Just showed up here to the post office to mail out 2 boxes of cigars, 2 humidors, for 2 very lucky subscribers who I really truly appreciate. Appreciate everybody, and I want to get these things out right away, quick, so they can enjoy them. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll get these guys out, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Almost. I'm going to do a quick little video.
Yeah, same.
The whole thing.
Oh, I'll do it real quick.
We can even maybe just offer the water even. No, we'll bring it up. Oh, there's too much water in there? Yeah.
Yeah, the Patent 5 Distillery, eh? This is cool. I've never been in here before.
What's the recorder here? What's the screws it?
Sure, just want to try to take a picture.
Oh, here. Have you guys done this before too, or anything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, just not here yet,
Yeah.
but in like people's houses and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like scotches and stuff, or?
Yeah, Scotch and other types of.
A magical store called Kensington Wine Market. And it's more because they don't sell just wine. They sell amazing Scotch products, and they have a huge lineup there. So the owner, Andrew Ferguson, is also rather particular about the spirit that comes through. Shelter Point released a special cask and a bottle just for KWM, which is their 100% rye, which is done at cask strength. So the nice thing about Shelter Point is it's on the, kind of like on the middle of the eastern coast of Vancouver Island. So it is a little bit of coastal air. You'll get a little bit of that influence in the barrel, but you'll also get kind of those different temperature cycles. So you'll get a bit of a different aging. And for anybody that has enjoyed some of the Crown Royal products, you'll realize that rye adds a little bit of spice to the flavor, and it gives it a nice taste. So this is, again, the final official Shelter Point product that we have. Thanks to Derek, and I can credit him properly this time. We've got a couple others to try after this, but in this case, so this is a cask strength. That means it was bottled at 58.1%, which is almost 50% higher than your typical 40% that some of the others are bottled at. We have had a couple of beer, of course, that have been in the 45s, mid to high 40s, but this one will be spicy because of the rye and spicy because of the alcohol. So, remember when I was talking to you earlier before about just have a sip? Do that again, even though you haven't been drinking, have a sip, just kind of let it linger on your tongue, and then have another sip to see how the alcohol intermingles. But
What do we have to do? Have a sip and leave the rest? Sorry.
right?
Yeah. He's written 2 books, all about Canadian whiskeys. And he's also, I believe it's the Canadian Whiskey Awards, which he has started. And hopefully one of you guys are going to win some awards. Have you guys entered into it at all yet? Or yeah? It's only a matter of time until you guys win. That's for sure. It did? Oh shit, you should have told us. Jeez, Chris, you missed it.
Until it's the best in Canada, we're just staying quiet.
Fair enough. So long story short, I met Jacob Weeb, who is part of Shelter Point, and that day he had brought 3 whiskeys that I'd never tried before and hadn't even heard of. One of them was really cool because they're out in BC. Their distillery is on a gigantic farmland. They have their grain to glass, basically. They farm their barley and all of their products. They distill it, age it, all on land, all on site. And their ecosystem on that farmland. They've got bears walking through, they've got wildlife, and it's a conservatory style region and land that they're taking care of, basically, with their farmland. So,
And they're on their own map. That's very important.
right, exactly. So they basically, you know, their water, everything is shelter point. Now, with their whiskeys, they have really cool barrels as well. So what we'll see with the smoke point, I believe they've either sourced Isla barrels for some of their expressions, of course peated barley as well. But the first whiskey that I ever tried from them was a Quail's Gate red wine cask, and you can get that here if there's still some left, which is the Manitoba Liquor Mark's single barrel shelter point. I believe it's around the $80 mark. I think you were the last person to buy one from me, Daryl. It's cask strength again at 58%. It's bottled for Manitoba, and they call it a single grain whiskey. Which we can make assumptions, but typically you can say this is a unmalted barley when they call it single grain from this distillery. So the grain is unmalted barley. It is coming from. It's a darker whiskey too. So you know that it's a wine cask. Jacob had confirmed that. So it's a red wine cask. I think it's a Pinot Noir cask. It's a fantastic whiskey. It's also at 58% alcohol. Sure doesn't drink like it. So there's a lot of shelter points still in town, so you should eat it all up because it's a great distillery. So there you have it.
Yeah, whatever's here was product that we brought in to feature at the Whiskey Festival in March. We don't actually have a listing, though we are trying very hard to get one. So there's ongoing supply. We were lucky enough to have the distillery send Chris Reed, who's their experienced guy, a wonderful Scotsman, to come and man the booth. And I think we had 5 different expressions that we poured. And we also brought in probably about 10 cases of each that were then sent out to the stores after. So yeah, a few bottles might still be around. But hopefully in the near future, we've got something regular.
And of course, we'll let you in on a secret. If everybody wants to join our WhatsApp group, just come to me at the end. We're nerds. We basically just talk about whiskey all day on WhatsApp. So if you go to work, you come home from work, you got 50 messages to go through. But at the same time, we also place orders as a group from elsewhere, and we share shipping. We do all that good stuff. So if you're interested in getting in as part of the group, you are all alumni now. So you're welcome to our WhatsApp, and you know, we're always respectable. We always talk about whiskey. We always drink whiskey. So that's all you need to worry about. And of course, then if we have more people, better. And then of course we'll make some orders.
And this would be a good time just to remind everybody. So next month, Thursday, August 31st, I think I said, that will be our bourbon-focused barbecue. Usually we have it on Wednesdays, but again, this will be the Thursday just before the Labor Day weekend. We'll be going back to the regular, so in September 25th on the Wednesday, we'll be looking at a Scotch themed evening. And then finally on another Wednesday, I believe it's October 25th. Might have been September 27th, but again, yeah, September 27th, and then October 25th, we'll be having a spooky spirits theme night. So great spooky spirits. We haven't quite put that together, although I've got some ideas.
We got plenty of time.
We got lots of ideas.
Yeah, we gotta go with the theme, and then it gets fun.
The peat monster, the BBC.
Where's the barbecue?
Sorry.
Brisket next month too. There's a talk about a brisket.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool. I don't know how to cook
So
brisket.
typically our bourbon
Or really
barbecue is
cook at
always
all.
held in July.
But yeah,
Our
everyone's
president,
welcome.
Mark, he has been away fell ill, so that's why he's not here today. But we usually held it in July because he was assumed he wasn't going to make it this month. We're going to push it back a month, and hopefully he can join us next month. Chris Jensen in the corner over here, back. He's offered his beautiful property to host us, and I think it's going to be super comfortable and it's going to be super awesome. Cigars are welcome, all that good stuff is welcome over there.
We got lots of cigars too.
It's okay with
I'll have a humidor open for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, where do you live there?
By the Mint. I'll flash.
Great, I'm in Lorette.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, super close. Yeah.
And you're all
Nice.
invited. So
Yes,
you can
absolutely.
get on our WhatsApp,
Yeah.
you can get on our Facebook page,
Yeah.
our Instagram page.
Got a big patio for smoking cigars.
We don't advertise our events on Instagram just yet, but we have a Facebook page, and we have the WhatsApp that we advertise the events at. So if you enjoyed this tonight and you want to come to more, talk to me at the end. We'll get your contact information. We'll just keep it all coming.
So that's a single grain. And what's really cool about that one is because it's not malted barley, it is basically grain to bottle, 100% along with the
For those people that enjoy a little bit of smoke, if you're familiar with the process, if you're doing barley, you malt the barley, so you let it germinate a little bit, but then you stop it, and you stop it by applying heat. And on Isla, they have a lot of peat, so they stop it by smoking peat, and the smoke gets infused into the grain, and that works its way into the malt. Now, I believe though with the smoke point, they've taken Isla barrels and aged Shelter Point product in that. So it's not a direct application of smoke, but it's, or would you like to talk about that?
With this,
Secondary.
they actually
Cast
collected,
influences it.
they've actually also collected driftwood.
Yes,
So
that's
they burn the driftwood to toast some of the barley, and what they say is that the driftwood has got, of course, like bits of seaweed, so there's an iodine influence from that, a lot of salinity that comes through in that as well.
Yeah. So, this will be a very interesting dram to kind of finish the night off, because it'll have probably, I haven't tried it lately, but whatever it's called, it's got a very pleasant smoke, and it's going to give you a very different character from everything else that we've enjoyed so far.
So the driftwood, does that mean that they do like they drop a piece of driftwood in the barrel?
No, they're burning it.
Oh, they're burning. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
originally. Oh, before. So before they do. Yeah. Okay, got it. Right. I was just thinking about the process when they do the bourbons, that they drop the strips of wood in there for different flavors and stuff. So is that. Oh, but it adds some nice flavors if they have the right stuff in there.
This is Downriver whiskey from Moonshine Creek Distillery in Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, pardon me. Everybody's screwing it up.
Nice.
New Brunswick, and one of our club members actually is an investor in this company and helped this come my way, because just like the whiskey here, it's practically impossible to get if you're not actually there, or like right on at the click of a switch as soon as things start over there with them. This is their release 4. This came out this year. It's 47%, and it's a rye whiskey, but it's not 100% rye. It's maybe I don't know, 70 something, kind of like that. So let your palates be the judge, and make sure you have a rinsed glass for yourself.
I got no water left.
And a couple of new people I've never seen before. Mark Kaufman, hello. Really glad you're here. And we'll start right here with now. This American style of rye, it's 50% 51% or more rye blended with corn in the mash and then distilled. Sweet. So,
Yeah.
they have a couple of different things that they do. They also did they did a brandy fairly recently. So a good distillery to watch out for. Then the next glass that you should have your
Two brewers. Two brewers, nice.
Please rinse another glass. And we've had two brewers a lot in the club. We in fact had a couple of two brewers events, so we're overdue for another one. That'll happen fairly soon. It's proven not too easy as their popularity is really ramping up. Before I do that, or while I'm pouring some of this out, feel free to talk about any unusual tasting notes you found in the downriver, or any thoughts on whether that's a style of whiskey that you might like to explore more for yourself.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I'm back on the 15th of October.
Okay.
6 weeks. 800 clicks.
That's like a
Kidding.
come on.
It's actually early in the morning.
You can get over it, but you enjoy it now.